The story begins in the biting cold of Berlin, where the rhythmic thud of a heavy bag in a dim gym provides the only heartbeat for Johann, a man fighting to drown out his own silence. Nearby, a sudden apartment fire traps Ryu, who stands paralyzed not just by the smoke, but by the weight of a traumatic past he had hoped to leave behind in Japan. Johann breaks through the chaos, pulling Ryu from the wreckage and into the frigid night air. As they sit on the curb, the orange embers reflecting in their eyes, Johann wraps his own boxing tapes around Ryu's trembling hands. It is a wordless pact, an anchoring of two drifting souls that marks the beginning of a connection neither of them can truly name or escape. 5 years later, the scene shifts to the neon-drenched streets of Seoul, where the distance between them has grown into a physical ache. Ryu has become a photographer of shadows, capturing the city's isolation, while Johann returns to the ring, fighting with a reckless desperation that suggests he is searching for a blow he cannot land. They exist in a state of suspended animation, leaving heavy, unspoken voicemails that neither has the courage to play. While Ryu traces the edges of a photograph from Berlin, Johann clings to a discarded camera lens cap, a small plastic relic of the man who saw his strength. Their lives are a mirror of separate griefs, moving in a synchronized dance of longing across a sea of silence. The thread finally pulls tight in the quiet blossom.
The story continues in the quiet ripples of their shared life in Tokyo, where the soulmate connection matures from a frantic survival bond into a steady daily rhythm. No longer defined by the trauma of the Berlin fire or the yearning of the Seoul years, Ryu and Johann build a sanctuary that bridges their two worlds. Ryu's photography begins to change. His work, once focused on the isolation of shadows, starts to capture the warmth of light hitting skin, often using Johann as his silent, steady muse. Johann, in turn, finds a new kind of discipline, trading the aggressive violence of the pro ring for coaching local youth, teaching them that strength isn't about how hard you hit, but how you protect what matters. Their apartment becomes a living map of their decade-long journey. A bookshelf holds a mix of Japanese literature and Korean poetry, while the walls are decorated with Ryu's stark Berlin landscapes, alongside Johann's old framed fight posters. On rainy evenings, the language in their home is a seamless blend of Japanese, Korean, and the German they used when they first met, a private dialect born of their displacement. The threads of fate are no longer metaphorical. They are seen in the way Johann intuitively knows when Ryu's past nightmares are resurfacing and pulls him back to the present, or how Ryu stands in the front row of every gym exhibition, a constant, unwavering witness to Johann's peace. As the years pass, they return to Berlin, not as victims of a fire, but as tourists of their own history. They walk past the rebuilt apartment block where they first collided, hand in hand, realizing that the fire didn't just destroy Ryu's old life, it forged the metal of their partnership. They sit at the same curb where Johann once wrapped Ryu's hands, but this time there was no trembling. The story concludes not with a grand climax, but with the profound beauty of the mundane. Two men sharing a meal, watching the sunset over a city that no longer feels like a hiding place, finally understanding that they are each other's ultimate destination.